Hey guys, it's Shadow, and today we are going to be playing Planet Coaster. Now, this is part 6. If you haven't seen any of the parts before this, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then there should be a little playlist card coming up in the top right corner. Go ahead and click on that and watch the other parts if you feel like you've missed something or if you don't know what's going on. Those episodes will definitely fill you in. Obviously, that's kind of what they were made for. But I started this episode out by doing a lot of kind of corrections. I was looking over the building and kind of correcting some little things that I saw that were kind of not the way that I wanted them to be. So I also started out by adding some windows and features, and I actually recolored this whole wall right there because it was too much brick on one area for me, to be honest. So I started out with that. I started adding some windows on this side, so like if you're in the roller coaster and you look behind you or something and you're like, oh, that's a very bland wall. Well, I don't want it to be that way, so I kind of changed it up, and I like how it looks right now. I'm not thinking of going back and changing anything. I'm trying to progress forward with this park. Now, I've spent 3 episodes on this roller coaster attraction alone, so I'd totally like to move on. Even though it's not finished, even by the end of this episode, it's still not finished, even though it's a short episode, but anyway. It's still not finished by the end, and I'm sorry about that. But honestly, I'm going to have to move on. Maybe if I feel the need to come back and work on it some more, or if you guys want me to or something, then let me know. But currently, I just want to keep working on the little alleyway that we're going to build eventually, and start working on some other themes, because I'm almost getting tired of using this pirate-esque theme. Even though it's very beautiful, I will admit, it's very, very beautiful, but it just, I don't know, it's getting boring to me. I like how it looks in the park, but I get tired of building it every once in a while. So if you have any suggestions for stuff I should do, leave them in not in the description, in the comments, so I can see them and hopefully do them in the park, as long as they're not super ridiculously hard. This was, honestly, if I had a difficulty rating for every build that I do in this park, I would say this one's probably been the hardest. I've been brainstorming every bit of it. I haven't copied any of it from pictures. One of the builds I did, the mansion build, which I believe is episode 2 or part 2. If you haven't already seen it, go watch it. But I actually did that off of a build, or not off of a build, off a real life building. So it was a little bit easier to do because I kind of had a reference point for the building. So yeah. And this whole thing, it was all done, I did the whole thing from my mind, so that's why it was kind of hard to do for me, even though I have a creative mind or whatever, still kind of crazy. So, I started filling in this little area right here. It looked kind of bland, and there's quite a few other areas that are kind of bland like that, but, that was one of the main areas I wanted to cover up. Now, I started working on this little area right here. I wanted to cover up that little gap right there. And I forgot to cut this part out, so I guess you're going to have to watch this. But I was trying to do kind of the same thing up here on the top, so it wouldn't just look like a regular roof, but it didn't really work out, so I kind of just moved on with my day. So I started kind of decorating the back of the building here with the door, and I think I did some windows as well. Now I did a lot of plants out here just so it wouldn't look so barren and like absolutely nothing out here. I don't know. I just wanted something. There needed to be something out here. Even if it wasn't something that you could actually walk on in the game, it's better than absolutely nothing. So I filled it in. I really like how it looks. I really do. I believe, this sounds very weird of me, but I believe this little... Yeah, I think I forgot to cut something out here, so you'll see it in the finished product. but there was a part where I started building the no, this might have been correct. I'm not entirely sure. No, this is correct. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I mixed up my videos. I started building the exit for the roller coaster and figured out there was no good way to do it. So I literally dug underneath where the roller coaster gets covered up there. And I routed the path down into the hole and back up on the other side. And I really love how this turned out. Honestly, it's one of the coolest things I've done in the game. Now that we have terrain editing, it's so easy to do such, like, these little, like, very beautiful areas of just, like, landscaping. It's so cool. I really like it. Now, I had a lot of troubles with the path here, not wanting to, like, correspond with me. So, I think, don't know where I do it. I think, oh my gosh, eventually I'll get to it. I was messing around with it so much trying to get something to work. And eventually I had to just kind of delete the pathway and then connect them up and then connect it and I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird mess because the whole terrain editing thing just didn't want to work with me. So I just had to make whatever worked. I had to make that work. So, but in the end, I honestly think it's such a beautiful little pathway and park and everything. Right here, I actually had to delete the upper one and connect them normally and then kind of put it back together. I don't know. It was weird. And even still, there's like little areas like that where it'll stick up like through the path. On the back one, at least, like towards the back of the roller coaster, it doesn't really look like it very much. But it is an awkward angle. Like if you had an old person walk down it, I don't think they could. It's too steep. You'd have to have steps there, but they weren't placed, so I wasn't going to mess around with it. And at this point, I was going through the tunnel to make sure everything was kind of just working. Now, this is the weirdest thing, honestly, for a long time, because there were so many people that were exiting the roller coaster and there was no exit. Thousands of people had literally built up on the exit. So as soon as I placed a viable exit, literally they were just kind of glitched there. Thousands of people. And eventually, like, they would walk off in little groups. And then eventually it took me probably about 2 hours for them all to finally leave. And then it finally fixed itself. But it's just one of those little glitches that I found in the game. It's in Alpha 2 or Alpha 3 or whatever it is. So I can't really... I can't really blame the game itself, but it's something to kind of look out for. So I actually realized just now I was placing these lights down, and I didn't even realize I was still clicked on that building. So they're part of that building now. So I hope I never move it. But as you can see right there, there is thousands of people standing there at that exit. For what reason? I don't know. But they're just too dumb to walk away, I guess. It was an awkward situation. But yeah, I kept kind of putting down lights because it turned nighttime, and I think I'd forgot to put windows on that side. So I went ahead and put them down just because I was like, well, we can't not have windows here. So, but yeah, I've been placing a lot of these floor lamps because there's not very much other good lighting other than like the street lights. Oh, I just noticed something. There was a little weird clip where it showed me placing down the lights and then I placed them again. It was one of those crash moments where my game crashed and I couldn't really do anything about it. So I went back and replaced them, and yeah, it still worked out. They're pretty much identically the same. But yeah, I placed down these railways quite a good bit, honestly, just because it adds more diversity than just having a barren path. So I used them quite a good bit. Yeah, I was kind of trying to decorate everything that you could like see next to the path. That way it wouldn't feel so barren and just, I don't know, out of place, you know? But I do use these pirate themed stuff a lot. I really do, just because it's easy to use, easy to decorate with. But yeah, I ended up placing some more of these like bushy things over here up on the ledge before I started kind of doing the rock scaping or whatever you want to call it. But I just wanted to do that just so it could have more stuff to kind of make it look more luscious and stuff. So I started adding these rocks, and I really like how it turned out. It might have been a bit too much, but they're there now, and they look pretty good, honestly. I use a lot of these rocks. I use a lot of rocks on this side, a lot on the other side, and then I use some on the little like overpass for the roller coaster itself. Now, honestly, I think I could do more decorations for the roller coaster. It does kind of feel barren, but honestly, if you think about it, whenever you get on a roller coaster, you're not really getting on the roller coaster to see the landscape. You're going too fast to see it, really. So I just kind of added some basic decorations for the roller coaster and just kind of left it that way. I don't know. I wasn't really focused on it, you know. But I kept adding more and more over here just so it would look beautiful and maybe not crazy, but just really good. And I also did some rock scaping on the inside. I didn't really focus very hard on the inside of it because it's the inside, you know, who really cares? But I at least wanted to make it look like it was a real cave or something. Now here I am starting on the other side. Now there's nothing really too complex about doing something like this. If you're going to do it, what you want to do is just honestly, like, you want to use the smallest rock probably a lot, just because it fills in the little gaps and it makes everything look a little bit more diverse. But if you really want the diversity, get some of the bigger rocks and sink them into the ground so it looks like, see, like what I'm doing there, I use that kind of as the wall so I don't have to use so many small rocks. But in the end, I do end up using a lot of the small ones just because, like, I don't know, it saved me a lot of time, and it just, I don't know. It didn't save me a lot of time. It kind of actually made me use it a lot more. But anyway, if you don't want to use as many rocks, my suggestion would be to use some bushes. You could probably cover up a lot of area with that, and it'll make it kind of look foresty and nice. So, yeah. Now I tried to place a lot of things to just make it look more natural and not man-made. I'm not the best at that, but it does look pretty good. And this is one of my favorite parts of this little tunnel here for the exit. There was a hole that I accidentally made whenever I was making this tunnel, and it actually lets you see underneath the roller coaster whenever it's going by. And to me, that's just such a cool thing. Like, seeing the roller coaster go by over your head. I mean, far enough over your head that it won't hurt you at all. There's absolutely no way that it can, but it's there, and it's really cool. But I can imagine it's probably pretty loud. It probably echoes really bad in that tunnel. But here's where I started doing some of the floral for the overpass here. Like, I didn't want to do too much, but I at least wanted to have, like, kind of a grassy floor. So I started out with that and kind of went from there. Now, I might go back, but I did use a lot of rocks whenever I was doing this. Like, I really, really used a lot of rocks. Like, you haven't even seen as many rocks as I've used yet. I'll start doing that in a second in the video. Now, it's just, I don't know. Whenever I think about it now, it was probably too many, but yeah. Man, I'm like, every time I do these, I end up getting a headache from talking or something. I'm not used to talking for like 20 minutes straight, even though this isn't a 20-minute video. It's like 15, 16, but whatever. But here, I actually started using the rocks. Now, the only reason I did that is just because I wanted it to look more natural. I don't know. Currently, it looks man-made. That's why I was using the rocks. But now that I use the rocks so much, it looks man-made as well. So it's like you can't win. You just can't win. But it does look very beautiful. I will give myself that. And I just now remembered I didn't really do very much lighting in this video. The only lighting I did was on the paths, pretty much. But I might go back and do that maybe in the next episode or something, if I can remember to. It's not a big deal, though. I did ride the roller coaster I think it was kind of in the morning whenever I did it, whenever I made the video that's at the very end. So, I don't know, it's good enough. It looks very beautiful, so I might just keep it this way. But if you comment telling me to do it, I will definitely do it. So yeah, I was just kind of finishing off the rocks here. I think I actually, yeah, I added quite a good bit of floral to the rocks, kind of in the front there. That way you just, like, whenever you looked at it from the roller coaster, you wouldn't just see rocks and only rocks. So I started adding some more stuff. I don't know where I started doing that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of tired actually. Alright, so I started doing the floral stuff here, obviously. And I think that turned out pretty good too. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You guys, like, if you have any suggestions for games that I should play, even if they're not like building games, say if it's like a new game or something that you're just interested in watching that you can't personally play or something, let me know and I will play it on the channel. I will always suggest that kind of thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope I see you guys in the next one. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.